Hey guys, it's Jouelzy and here goes my first Smart Brown Girl movie review. And guess what movie I am reviewing? Of course, Dear White People. And if you're new to this channel or you didn't already know because you've been slipping on keeping up with my videos, I, not too long ago, interviewed one of the producers for Dear White People, Lena Waithe, also known as Hillman Grad on social media. Hence why I'm rocking my homegirl's Hillman hoodie. I'll have a link down below for these. I think people have had a very strong reaction to it because it's a film directed, written, and produced by a team of Black people. And it has gotten a lot of press, and it is not a Tyler Perry film, which means it doesn't particularly rest on overt motifs of being super Christian and her crying her way down the church aisle to redemption and, you know, the single Black female struggle and finding you a good man by dating your local trash collector. Yeah, girl, none of that is featured in Dear White People. And so with all the press and talk about finally having a movie targeted at college-educated Black folk and the like, this has had a lot of strong reactions, and I think one of the follies of us as people of color when it comes to things that are supposed to speak to the kind of upper echelon of the talented 10th, as we would say, even though I don't particularly believe in the ideology of the talented 10th, we tend to get very protective, and if it doesn't tell our story, we don't really bang with it. We can do lowbrow, right? Tyler Perry, Steve Harvey films, again, they're super cliche, so we can all kind of accept them for what they are, but when things like Black-ish or Dear White People come out, we want it to tell our story because we fashion ourselves as representations of the better side of what a Black person in America is because we are constantly negating so many negative stereotypes. It doesn't tell every college-educated Black person's story. If you went to a HBCU, you might walk out the film feeling like, okay, it does take place at a PWI, a predominantly white institution. I overall enjoyed the film. I do find certain criticisms are due to it. It was a bit heavy-handed. I think there's a lot of dialogue, it's a lot to take in, and I do think that Justin could have taken some of the things out that he put in the film. It's like you have this one opportunity and you kind of want to encompass everything in this like one opportunity because you don't know if you're gonna ever have this opportunity again. And so that's kind of the feel that I got from the movie. I did not like the main character, Sam, but I knew going in that I was not going to care for Sam. I'm never particularly a fan of the tragic mulatto character. Now, I know some people had an issue. Sam is played by Tessa Thompson. The character Sam is a biracial, light-skinned, wavy, baby hair brigade chick who is battling with her whiteness as a pro-Black kind of feminist character. Now, I wasn't offended. I just didn't like her as a person. A thing called the 7 Archetypes of Negro Theater. Tragic mulatto is one of them. Tragic mulatto is always kind of like this uber angsty, is caught in between their white side and their Black side, and so they seem to be super lost in whatever it is they are, and like their storyline usually comes to them coming to like terms with their kind of the duplicity of their identity, essentially. I don't know why I wanted to say duplicity, but that was the word that was on my brain. So I like Coco's story. Coco is played by Tiana Paris. I enjoyed her story being told because I think so often when it comes to telling the story of Black women in America, we tend to skip over the story of someone who legitimately started from the bottom, has a hood name, and is trying to move past that, and their way of moving past that is to completely deny or push themselves away from everything that they feel is Black, and that's kind of what Coco's character does. It's interesting that she chooses the nickname of Coco. She wears blue contacts and weave, and you know, she kind of misses the mark that a lot of these things essentially do make her more hood, but for whatever reason she sees this as, you know, her being able to rise above and get into an Ivy League school. She sees all these kind of components as making her better than what she came from. I think it's a very complex story, and I was so happy to see it in Dear White People because it's not that uncommon. I think on maybe more, you know, minute levels, there are connections that women of color have to the story of Coco. And so yeah, part of me does, I wish Coco was more the main character than Sam. Sam was just angsty, you know, and I've seen her character before, whether it's in The Women of Brewster Place. Very common kind of motif in African American literature. And so I get the essence of her story, but I do think a lot of kind of the critiques to the story kind of tie directly into the heavy-handedness of Sam's character. The kid from Everybody Hates Chris plays Lionel, a gay male who's also attending the college, and he is kind of conflicted because he hasn't fit into any community. He's too black to be part of the white community because he's gay, and the black community historically has been a very homophobic community, and he's also kind of into a little bit more nerdier things. He strikes me as like the anime character, like the kid in high school who always wore those polyester button-ups. That's what Lionel struck me as. And so his own kind of insecurities kind of made him an outlier, and I thought his character I really enjoyed his storyline. Overall, I mean, I was a person who went to both the PWI and I went to HBCU. I did attend Howard briefly, and so I kind of get like what the story was going for. I laughed. I found it funny. I wasn't mad. I think you definitely come out of the movie wanting to talk about it. I hope that Justin and the team are kind of open to some of the more valid criticism around the film, so when they have the opportunity to do another production, you know, it could be a little bit more softer in its approach. I encourage you all to go support, see it, and if you've seen it already, let me know your thoughts down below. And I want you to let me know in the comments down below, do you have any friends who are of color that wear color contacts? And have you talked to them about why they do such things? I actually have a homegirl here who wears color contacts, and I have two. And they both are resolved that they know it's a little ghetto. They don't care. It's what they do. They're not ghetto, and you're not fitting to like buck with them about it. And I just kind of have to accept that. Deuces. You know how dumb it is for someone to tell me that instead of saying fleek, I should say on point? Like, how you deciding what colloquialism I use? On point ain't even proper English. Like, get a dictionary, a thesaurus. Figure it out, girl.